Oh, the first one who joined in was Anushka. Hi everyone.
Hi, Ash.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, I'm absolutely
I
good.
didn't know you wore glasses.
Yeah, I usually use that during the live session because I have to like check the questions around which
Yeah,
I
same
cannot
here.
see from my bare eye. So like before starting out, like we'll just wait for a few more people to join in. Till then you can introduce yourself. I'm pretty sure most of the audience crew know about you.
No, no, I'm that. I don't think that's the case. But hi, guys. I'm Anushka here. I also make content on Instagram like Ashna, and yeah, I've been doing CFA since the last 3 years now, and yeah, that's more or less it. Today we'll basically talk on careers in finance, what different options are there, and basically what we need to study or what you can study to pursue those career options.
Absolutely, yes. And I would like to introduce myself because there are more
Yeah.
audience from your end as well. So, I am creating content on Instagram just like Anushka, and apart from that, I'm studying my second year in BMS in finance. And yeah, that's all I can say because I'm not pursuing any degree for now, and my college studies are going pretty well right now. I'm glad that I'm in my undergrad degree, not in CFA and all. I'm pretty sure you must be very tired of studying all the time the same things
Oh,
about the
definitely.
CFA.
Yeah. Hello.
It's been almost 2 years, right? Hello, am I audible?
Just give me 1 second. I think.
Yeah, yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Sorry, actually my AirPods got connected to my laptop. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
it did happen before because I didn't have, I used a Windows laptop, but yeah. Uh, all right, so
Okay.
should we start?
So, yeah, 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 definitely. So, like, the first question is obviously, I've like gotten so many questions just about CFA and MBA. So, earlier I did a live with Ishan Arora, if you know him. So, that was the only question being flooded. So, I want to know each and every expert's personal view towards MBA and CFA. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah. So, just just telling the audience a little structure. We'll probably
Mm-hmm.
talk about what we'll cover in this live is we'll talk about equity research, investment banking,
Hmm.
PE, corporate finance, and then through that also we'll talk about different courses. So now that you asked about CFA, I've been doing CFA for a very long time, but then when I started, I basically CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. It
Hmm.
teaches you money management or portfolio management. How exactly you need or how exactly you can invest money into different asset classes. It basically teaches you that. So there are subjects like the subjects like equity, fixed income, derivatives, alternative investments, quants, which is quantitative research basically. So it will teach you how to basically analyze different securities and make investment decisions based on that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and how you exactly diversify. So, portfolio management is a subject in portfolio
Yeah, she'll rejoin. Also, guys, for all the people who are asking me, हमारे questions नहीं ले रहे हैं. We'll take that at the end of the session, like around 8:45.
Is it
Hello.
better now?
Yeah, yeah. I was just
Okay.
telling them that we'll take the questions at the very end so that they stay till the end because many of them were asking, you guys are not taking a question, I'll leave.
Yeah, is there a problem with my internet?
I guess like I tried to switch mine to data, so now I think it's better.
All right, so okay, so
Are you
it's
able
fine
to
now,
hear
right?
me, see me? Is my video all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we were talking about CFA. So CFA
Hmm.
broadly is about money management and how do you invest your money. Um, and with CFA, it's not that you have to do it the entire time. You basically start doing CFA in your last year of college. That is the basic requirement. And to get the CFA charter, you need 4 years of work experience as well. So when you're doing CFA, you can do it alongside college as well as when you're working. Whereas MBA in finance is something which is a dedicated degree to 2 years, you or 1 year in some cases, you will be only studying and it will be difficult for you to pursue anything else with it. When it comes to job opportunities, if MBA is from a very good college, a very good brand name, then of course there are more opportunities. But if it's not from a top college, I would say top 10, 15 colleges in India, then really does not add a lot to your resume. So it does not really add a lot to your resume. So CFA otherwise in India, there is a relatively less. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So CFA is basically relatively less. CFA is relatively less. Why was I forgot? Yeah, CFA is relatively less recognized in India when compared to a CA or a top college MBA. That was my personal experience when I went in the job market and when I applied to companies. However, 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 you can say if you're doing it alongside your MBA or if you're doing it alongside your graduation, it does add to your resume, especially if you want to go into the fund management industry. Investment banking, PEVC, it's more of a brand name than knowledge that you will get. And also, people are saying CFA work requirement is now 36 months. I was not aware of that. Thank you for that. It's reduced to 36 months and it's no longer 4 years as it was before. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so to add on that, like if someone is just starting out, in finance as in CFA. So if they want to like learn about stocks, like how to analyze stocks or get to know the fundamental technicals. So is CFA the right degree to go ahead with for learning about stock markets too?
To learn about stock markets, there is one subject called as equity. Equity
Hmm.
is something, and also derivatives. These are two subjects which will teach you about stock markets. Equity will teach you about fundamental analysis a bit. It will teach you, but it is not very practical. It has a lot of theory to it, but it does give you a good base to start from. There are other cases like there are other courses, NISM, CA, all
Yeah.
of them are actually a little towards the theoretical side. When you want to actually invest in the markets, you will probably have to gain some work experience and read a lot of books to get how to properly do the analysis. None of the courses teach you that in detail. Like it is more theoretical than practical. Also, portfolio management is something which will help you with how to invest your basically asset um, asset allocation. And asset allocation is something which portfolio management will teach you, but it is
Yeah.
extremely theoretical. So if you
Okay.
want to get started, CFA is something which you can do, but getting an internship with a fund house or reading books and watching videos on how people practically do it will help you more than what CFA curriculum will teach you. But it's a good base to start with.
Yeah, so basically experience matters more during stock market, like. Mhm. Okay, so is there any other course apart from CFA that would actually help people who are not into finance background, or even they are from the finance side, but they don't want to pursue CFA as a career option or a degree? So is there any other degree which they can go ahead with, like
So
CWM
first
or
and
CMA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so first is the most valuable degree in finance as of today is CA. It gives
CA.
you a lot of options, and but the thing is it is very time intensive. Like 4 5 years
Mm-hmm.
you have to dedicatedly devote to that. You get a lot of authority as well with CA, and you are basically eligible to sign audit papers, and you're a member of ICAI. Whereas with CFA or any other course as such, you don't get those authorities. There are other courses like FRM which one can pursue, ACCA. There are more. There's a certified trader, certified trading CTP. I'm not sure. A certified trading something course. Then there are courses by NISM. Then there
Mm-hmm.
is so these are more or less a couple of courses, but the most preferred in India is CA, and then there are these other courses.
Okay, okay, got it. So I would also like to know more about the, career options that can come under CFA, like the investment banker or maybe something else. Like I have just came across investment banking as such. So what are the other career options when we
After
pursue
CFA
CFA?
or in finance?
CFA.
After CFA, CFA is mainly made for wealth management and portfolio management. So it's
Mm-hmm.
basically handling people's money is what you learn in CFA. It can be either a person, private, or you can even do it at a corporate level. So that is what basically CFA prepares you for. That is one thing which is what it mainly is designed for. Outside India, if you go, CFA is a highly recognized degree, especially in the wealth management industry. It is one of the top courses which are there. However, if apart from wealth management, there are allied roles which are there which you can pursue, but that will take a little more effort. So investment banking, private equity, venture capital, corporate finance, also more or less, structured finance. All these will help you if you can enter these if you have a CFA degree, but the CFA does not directly teach you any of these. So if we talk about more these career options more in detail, investment bankers are basically whenever a company raises money or a company is doing a merger or acquisition or any such transactionals which are there at a corporate level or a very high institutional level, then the investment banker comes in between and facilitates that. So for example, a company wants to sell itself, then so a company wants to sell itself and another company wants to buy another company. So that investment banker sort of acts like a bridge between them and helps the transaction go through. If a company wants to sell itself and there are no buyers, so the investment banker will find buyers or convince buyers. If a company wants to raise money from the private market, that is also, or even prepare for the public market, that is also something which an investment banker does. There are a lot of different roles in investment banking as well. Also, there are like front offices, mid offices, back offices. Depending on these, your role will also differ. A back office person will do most of the um, operational work which is there, a lot of data segregation, data management, doing the analysis. Mid office
Mm-hmm.
work will do a little bit of that as well as handling with the client side. And at the front office, it's mainly about negotiations. It's mainly about getting mainly about creating that network so that you can sell and you may
Mm-hmm.
getting the deals done, setting the terms of the deals. That is what is there. So that is in investment banking. In investment banking, two things which you'll do at an entry level most is financial modeling and creating pitch books. So for that you need
Also,
Excel
I've heard
knowledge.
that and PowerPoint as well. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was going
Excel
for.
and PowerPoint. Yeah. So these two are really really well. But also when I was there, a lot of my colleagues, which were there from an engineering background, they knew how to code, and that really helped them with segregating the data for the deals to happen. So data analytics helps a lot, especially today. Then this was
Hmm.
investment banking. Then there are two which are relatively similar: private equity and venture capital. What these companies do is these companies have money with them, and they want to invest in companies which have prospect
Good
of
return.
growing
Yeah.
in future. So private equity basically does relatively bigger companies. They are more they put money in bigger stable businesses, and venture capital mainly invest money into startups. So this is the main difference between these two, but both of them mainly invest into companies.
Startups,
So
companies. Yeah.
yeah, companies. But these are like at a bigger level and in the private market. So in a
Okay.
private equity and venture capital, both of these industries, you can do either your CA, CFA also is a source to enter them, or you can do your MBA in finance from a big university. All these courses help. Venture capital, because a lot of companies today are tech based and a lot of startups are based on tech. If you have
Hmm.
from an engineering background and you've done your CFA or FRM, you are a great candidate there, because you need to understand those startups businesses, and to understand that you need a little technical base. So hence your engineering degree actually gives you a advantage over a finance degree, or it sets you apart a little. Also, in these two industries, there are a lot of sector specific companies. So there will be like a venture capital which only focuses on cryptocurrencies or blockchain. There will be a PE company which mainly invests, say, in FMCG companies or pharmaceutical companies. So if you are from a particular background, say if you are I mean, I'm giving an example of a friend. He had done his MBBS, and then he wanted to enter into a private equity. So he actually went with a company which specializes in investing in bigger pharmaceutical companies. So his experience and his knowledge actually helped me. So if you have the sectoral knowledge, or if you have a very
Hmm.
specific background, these degrees can actually help you enter these niche private equity and venture capital firms. And after that is corporate finance. With corporate finance, you essentially handle a company's financial operations. So
Hmm.
what a CFO basically does, and then the roles below him, like the designations below him in the finance department. So for example, how much should go into production, how much should go into marketing, how much we need to raise money. So all these things are basically decided by the finance department in any company, and that is corporate finance. And the last thing I think will be other courses. There are a lot of other courses. There are a lot
Yeah.
of yeah, you can be in fintech, you can be in structured finance. A lot of other allied
Yeah,
courses
I
are
guess we
also
got
there.
the overall view about the,
Yeah.
different career options in CFA. So we have like, the CFA Institute has just come up with this ESG CFA level 4. So what are your take on it? Like, is it a good opportunity for the, finance geeks, or is it just a random examination that we should avoid? Because I have seen like a few of my friends were talking about this CFA ESG certification. So one of my friend was saying that even if we just take investment foundation course and if we just pursue ESG certification, it was giving him massive what do we say, opportunity in the US. Like one of his friend was working there.
Yeah, exactly same. So Indian markets are still not very uh, accepting of ESG as of now. There's not a lot of demand for it, but in the US, it definitely the demand for ethical and socially responsible investing, environmentally and socially responsible investing is something which is demanded and in focus. So in India, I would say it is a good thing to have on your resume, and in future probably the demand will increase, and it is something that you can pursue additionally. Um, but it's not going to be a deal breaker, a major deal breaker in any case.
So it's like just an additional exam that if one wants to pursue it, then only you should go towards that.
At least at this stage. In future, you never know what will
Hmm.
happen, but at least at this stage, it depends.
Okay. So now we'll just go towards the Q&A section because people are waiting. Okay, so how beneficial are any of these courses for corporate lawyers? Okay, we're not into lawyers.
I think
Okay,
it's
banking finance.
corporate
Yeah,
lawyers, uh, as far as my experience goes, in investment banking, corporate lawyers are actually required because a lot of a company structuring takes place, and a lot of investment bankers actually even have to rely with corporate lawyers to draft their legal documents, which are there, the term sheets and different documents. So. I think if you want to shift from a corporate lawyer's job to investment banking, yeah, compliance department. So if you want to shift into investment banking, I think you can. I have seen a few people pursue CFA and enter into into investment banking from being a corporate lawyer. However, it is not a compulsion. Even with a corporate lawyer degree, you can get into investment banking.
but he's asking specifically for the courses, any specific courses for such banking lawyers, if you have any
I
clue.
am
Okay,
I am not
uh,
aware.
yeah, all right. So
Thoughts
your
about
thoughts on,
actuarial science.
yeah.
Yeah. So actuarial science is basically it teaches you risk management, and it's very math intensive, but
Yeah.
it is something which not a lot of people can clear, and there is demand if you are someone who's good with math and if you can pursue it in the insurance space specifically, there is a lot of demand for actuaries. So it's still because it's so difficult to clear and there are not a lot of actuaries, the demand is also there for it.
Okay. Please suggest some good NISM modules we can do while doing MBA in finance. Okay, just a random question that popped in my head is that, a lot of people ask me that what are the different courses that would go with CFA or rather MBA? So if I'm pursuing CFA degree, what's the other things that I can, carry for my better resume, like NISM certificates or any other thing? So do you have any?
Yeah, with NISM, I'm not really sure of all the courses. The few that I have seen from mutual funds and for equity research, they are very
Hmm.
easy. For equity research was
Yeah.
very easy. Very few companies have this specific requirement that you need to have an NISM qualification or a certification to work with us. But it's a good addition to have since it's very easy. It is an Indian degree, so adds a little value. Uh, you can probably check the website to know more about the courses. I have seen mutual fund and equity research, only these two courses. Whereas when you ask about certifications, financial modeling certification is something one can do. Data analytics certification is something one can do. Excel again is something which will add on to the resume. And yeah, off the top of my head, these three are good.
Another most asked question was, what should one pursue or what is the course that one should pursue in finance if they have just passed out from 12th or HSC?
So, after you've just graduated, CA is one thing that you can pursue. It is ideally suggested that you should start after your 12th so that you finish it quickly. It's relatively a time-intensive course. So, CA is something that you can do. CFA will only be in the last year of your college. FRM has similar guidelines, and MBAs again you have to do it after. MBA again, you have to do it after your undergrad is over. So I think CA is the one you can start immediately. Are you aware of any more courses? I think
Uh,
CS also you can start immediately,
yeah.
and
I also another question that came across was that can we start or pursue CFA after 12th? So according to my knowledge, yes, we can start the studies, but the graduation certificate will be given after your third year, or if you have work experience of 3 to 4 years, I guess.
Yeah. So three
Yeah.
that work experience is difficult, but 2 years work experience plus 2 years of undergrad, if you have, then you can do it. Otherwise, if you're in your last year of college, then you can do it. Some rules were changed recently, but this is more or less how it works.
Absolutely. What is the scope for wealth management? As in, we already have so many apps doing it for us.
So
But
wealth
you know what?
management.
I feel that
Mhm.
we cannot actually rely on the apps mostly towards, if you want to have that accurate results or a good track of every single thing, then I feel apps would not work that well.
Yeah, they're good intermediaries to purchase them, and you can get
Yeah.
information, and it can be a source for you to track and get the information from. But at the end of the day, you still have to make a decision as to where you have to invest, which mutual fund, which stock, and that is where a wealth manager actually comes in. But if you see the industry, even you would have seen, and with your friends and all who've been applying, initially the packages in wealth management are not that well paid. At least for the first decade in your career, it's not going to be that well paid. But as you get the experience and you see that one market cycle going through, and you know what strategies work, and with experience, then your experience becomes invaluable, and you start actually growing in that industry and earning more.
Hmm. Another, okay, like this is my personal question. Since you have done investment banking, how was your experience? Like, not towards the, learning side, but in general. Like, I've heard that investment banking is a much hectic job. You need to like do a lot of things, a lot of research, and your days are full of stress and all. So I just really want to take that personal, you know, things from you. That is it true? How does it go?
Yeah, so I think initially, so my investment banking experience was with a boutique firm. It was relatively a smaller firm. So I had sort of a mid-end role in the firm where I was doing the analytics part, but I was also interacting with clients and was a part of the negotiations and the deals that were taking place. So yeah, it is a very, very hectic and a stressful job. And if you're good at networking and if you're good with numbers, then that job is made for you. However, if you're someone who likes to research a lot, then in investment banking, the research aspect is relatively low than what a wealth manager would do. In this, the research is more about what is happening in the market, where the future will go. Is the company which we are looking to invest in on a broader basis doing well? Because after that, the compliance department does the due diligence and all. So you just have to see on a broader level the financials only enough to make the financial model. So it's not that research intensive. It is more initially it is more analytical and number intensive, and as you gradually go up the ladder, it is more negotiations and networking intensive. My personal experience was that I wanted something which was more research intensive, where I could, analyze different sectors in detail, read about businesses in detail, see where the market was going.
Mm-hmm.
These were the reasons. This is something I wanted to do. But what I was doing, a majority of my work was creating financial models, which is basically making Excel models on how the company projections were, and coming up with a valuation for the company, or else making PowerPoint presentations, which are pitch book decks for the companies. I didn't really enjoy that, and hence my experience, I would say, was not very good, and I understood what I wanted to do. But it is hectic. It is a very demanding job. You have to handle clients, you have to fix the deals, you have to do a lot of, if you're in the business development sector, you have to approach a lot of people, and it is, you have to be a people's person as well as good with numbers in this industry.
Okay, okay. Glad that you told me.
How has
Uh,
your experience been? Have you done any internships till now?
No, like I haven't done any internships for now, but I am working in a fintech startup. So,
Oh,
you
that's
know,
nice.
yeah, I have to do different things towards product research, or I am learning financial modeling too right now, and then I'm also learning about cryptocurrencies. But to be honest, I truly enjoy researching about the different companies and stocks and all. So that's where my interest lies. So I'm like just digging the hole.
Exploring.
Yeah. So whichever field suits me, I'll go towards that. So I'm just doing each and everything and finding out what am I truly interested. I am just confused that what if I don't actually, want to do anything in finance and I just love creating content? That would be so funny. I just have this thought all the time.
I think that's good, right? You have a decent following to build on that. It's something you can
Yeah,
actually consider seriously.
I am actually. I have like long-term goals towards that too.
That's so nice.
What is this? I no, I have like already taken this. Do you want to go towards crypto?
Sure, I mean, I don't, I don't know a lot about the education side of crypto.
Okay, okay. So just we'll take a random question like thoughts on crypto. What are your thoughts on crypto?
I think cryptocurrency as an asset class is very risky, very volatile, and it's in the
Hmm.
beginning phase. It has a lot of utility in terms of the different projects that are ongoing right now. But it is like the early days of the internet. It's similar to that currently.
Hmm.
If you are investing, don't invest based on what people are saying. Don't invest based on what people are tweeting even, or just getting FOMO or seeing the past few returns and investing that you will get similar returns. Invest in
Hmm.
cryptocurrencies because you like the project behind it. You like what is the
Underlying
purpose of the
asset.
coin that is there, the utility token which is there. See what's the use of that, and yeah, you have to be very actively tracking them as well, because every day something new is coming up. The technology is something, if you're not from the industry, you will have your mind will be blown as to what things are happening with the help of cryptocurrencies, with blockchain technology. So read with an open mind. Don't read with a mind of making a quick buck. See it as in technology which is going to change the industries, or which is going to change how economies function, and try to invest in the technology and the projects which are actually going to uh, so invest in the technology rather than just the cryptocurrencies, what I'd say. Like, see what the projects are.
Hmm. And also like another thought that hits me all the time is that, in during 1990s and all, even stock market was very risky. And people used to be so scared, and now we have another opportunity maybe that can become big in future. I have no clue. This is not a tip at all. That's just how I was thinking in my back end. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, I guess I have like covered almost most of the questions. So do you mind like taking different people's on live so that we can take their questions personally? I usually do that with all the creators so that the live keeps
Sure.
remains engaging. Okay, great. Guys, please send in the request if you have any questions regarding the similar topic that we are discussing. And please send in the request if you actually want to join. Because I have
Yeah.
like so many people
Yeah.
who
So
are.
I
Hi.
wanted to, hi, hi. I'm very grateful that you
Hi.
invited me in your live session. I came across a new course which is known as CIMA course. It is Chartered International, Chartered Global Management Accounting, CGMA. So I wanted to
I
ask
can,
about.
yeah, I can ask people and get back to you, but I'm honestly not aware of it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ashna, I think we can add someone else. Ashna, you there?
Yeah, yeah. Am I audible? I was getting a call, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
You have so many fans, dude. Anushka, big fan. Big
No,
fan.
no. Are we waiting for someone? This is so awkward.
Happens with me all the time. So it's like not a new thing for me now.
Hi. Uh, uh, I hello.
Uh,
Yes.
Hello, do you have any question?
Is he not audible? Or
No.
Hello, do you have any question?
what was that? Okay, I mean a country as
Hello, ma'am. I'm fine, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm a huge fan of Anushka, ma'am, actually, and I always follow whatever advices you give. Ma'am, I'm highly interested in finance, and I got graduated last year, and I cleared FRM level one.
sorry,
Like
I didn't catch your last statement.
recently, I cleared FRM level one, ma'am.
Okay, that's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but ma'am, I'm planning to do further MBA from any of the IIMs or from foreign. But I want a great career in finance only. So after FRM level 2 or other than that, any other course you would recommend or any other tips you have to give to students like us?
Do you want to stay in India or work outside?
Ma'am, I want to work outside.
So if you want to work outside, then FRM is a great course to have on your resume. Target that you get a really good GRE or GMAT score and you get into top universities. In the US, I think you can go to top 20, 30 universities. That is fine. It will give you great opportunities. But outside US and Canada, Paris, London, try getting into the top five universities. That will help a lot to get great jobs because they're the Mike and London also, I think the top 10, 15 universities is good. The bigger the city, the more accepting the colleges are and the more opportunities that are there. Be well versed with financial modeling if you want to enter into investment banking or equity research. Both of these things require financial modeling. Other than that, I think if you want to target specific countries, learn the language as well. For example, I was also applying to Paris last year because they have some great university. INSEAD is in Paris, HEC Paris is great, ESSEC University is great, and relatively easier to get in also. So you can even learn their languages and apply to those. But again, when you're applying outside, as per my experience, it is only worth if you are able to get a job because a lot of in a lot of people actually have to come back and foreign degrees are not very valuable in India if it is not the top brand name degrees. Like in India, no one knows ESSEC Business School. But if you're in Paris, ESSEC Business School is number two. So try to get into the top universities, and that is all I have to say. I hope
Okay.
that helped.
Ma'am, any tips if I want to clear CFA level one?
Oh, CFA level one, if you've cleared FRM level one, then I think you have the I think the intellectual level to go. So just be consistent with it and study for at least 3 to 4 days for 3, 4 months. That is more than enough. Uh, read Shweza really really well. Shweza से सारे questions पूछते, मतलब सारे questions मुझसे नहीं पूछते, but Shweza आ जाती है तो 90% of the course is covered. You don't have to read the core. Do all Shweza questions, do all website questions, do all curriculum questions before you go. More than enough. CFA level 1 is not very difficult.
Ma'am, any school or any institute that would recommend for financial modeling course that I want to do?
Actually, when I did, no, there were no online courses. I did in 2017-18. But now there are a lot of financial modeling online courses that are there, which you will find for 2-3 thousand also. I paid a lot of. I don't honestly have any one recommend offline, but you should see.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. I didn't catch your name. Sorry.
Ma'am, it's Shreni Sharma.
Shreni, hi. Bye bye. Ashnat again shows that you're loading.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm a chart.
I
Uh,
sorry, please
yeah.
introduce yourself. I can't see your name.
Okay, I am Pooja Somani. I am a
Hi,
chartered
Pooja.
accountant and a CFA level 2 candidate. So I want to go into investment banking. So I'm thinking to do MBA in finance. So is it preferable to do MBA?
I
Like, you
think you
know,
have seen. I
I'm
don't
level 3
think.
candidate actually.
Oh,
Level 2 I've cleared. Yeah.
then I don't think you need an MBA in finance. You should start applying. You have great degrees and great brand names.
No, because the thing is now they're not accepting people like freshers. They're not accepting, so that's why I'm a bit confused to do MBA or not. That's
Yeah.
why.
So that I made a video recently on how do you enter if you're not from a top college. So if you have these degrees, you have to basically focus a lot on cold emailing and focus boutique investment banks, which are like less than 50, 30 employees. These people are okay. These investment banks actually take people, and they are great because you in a bigger firm you will have a clear back end role, but in these firms you'll get experience of mid level roles and you'll get a lot more exposure. So try to apply to investment banks which are less than 50 employees, 30 employees. Like I said, create 2 3 really nice industry reports, create a financial model, send that across in your emails when you're cold emailing. These smaller firms relatively are easier to crack than the bigger ones, and they're open, and if they see enthusiasm.
Okay, and financial modeling should I do or not like that? Financial modeling. What do you suggest?
Like I said in the last live also, I have not seen any of the financial modeling courses recently. What I did was 2017 course, so that was from a offline institute,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was. Good luck for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, I think Ashna is stuck.
Yeah.
Um, I will also probably end the live here then.